the cyborg, Aaron Davies, about to break off. In case you missed it, you just saw Tom Cousins defeat Vivek Mak in our first match. And Aaron's going to be taking on Kris Hampson. And not the start that the cyborg would have wanted. Of course, Aaron winning our first Pro Tour this season. Fantastic. Won it at Wigan. But he didn't win it doing it like that, I can assure you. Well, nice early hand on table for Kris Hampson. Opted for the yellow. He's going to kick this one out next to the black with his first shot.
Yellow ball's in play.
Well, no choice but to play this long yellow down the rail, and this is a tough ball start of the day. Well, very gently done. Purely the weight of that has took it into the pocket. Sort of hit the rail and did come in back in a little bit, but just slid. Brand new cloth, brand new pull balls. And that's not where Kris Hampson wanted to land. Don't know if he can get to the thin cut into the middle. If he can't, he's in a world of trouble. Well, that's his only shot and it didn't come off. So Aaron Davies gets a reprieve from his in off the break. Now these 7 reds and the black ball all begging to be potted. Very nicely done. Aaron, of course, very measured in his approach. Well, just the simple stuff left. Aaron has a little look to see where he wants to be for this last red. Just wants to make sure he doesn't leave himself an angle where the cue ball's going away from the black. And this is perfect. So it's going to be a nice opener in the end for Aaron, but it was Kris Hampson who did have the first chance after Cyborg went in off the break. And in goes the black ball, and Aaron Davies completes a win in the opening frame. And we'll have a little look over here. There's Christophe Lambert at the table. He's up against Luke McAvoy, and you can see he's trailing 4 frames to 3. This is, of course, over on our YouTube channel. That has commentary over there with Simon Webb and Nick Finn. Christophe, one of the great French players, or probably one of the greatest of all time. from over the water. And he's got his work cut out with a brand new pro, Luke McAvoy, who seems to be having a very good start to his first season with Ultimate Pool. Anyway, back to the main arena. Kris Hampson trailing a frame to nil, breaks off, and that's a good break. But has the cue ball been kind to him? It has. Look at that for a split. All the yellows in a line across the middle of the table. We think Kris just got this start in red into the middle bag. If he goes a little bit wide, it might be helped him with that yellow, but he should be able to get this straight into the centre of the pocket. Nicely done there. He's just got to leave himself a decent angle on this last red just to get the cue ball into the middle of the table. That should be fine. Nothing fancy here. Just get the white across. If he could land a cue ball just above the front ball spot, that would be perfect. Well, he got all the way up there. I don't know if I'd have been brave enough to go that far with the cue ball, but Kris Hampson was, and he completes the finish to level things up. Well, he'll be a lot happier with life. Aaron, nothing he could do with that one. It was a break and finish. So Davies took no part in that frame whatsoever, so he sat there beating himself up as he gets up, because it's going to be his turn to break off. And he won't want to repeat his opener. That's a much better break this time from Aaron. Have another look from the overhead. Plenty of power. Makes one of each. Nice control there from Aaron Davies. It's one of those, half the pool players just played pool, so not used to using the rest much. Some of the other pros started with snooker and they are much more accomplished with that part of the game. I never liked playing with the rest. I didn't play much snooker, but Aaron was certainly very happy with it. And this is going to be a very good finish in the end, as he just pulls up a little bit short. But this should be okay now for Cyborg. See a bit of adrenaline there running through his veins. Just wants to bring the cue ball off that bottom rail into the middle of the table for the black into the bottom left. And that's nicely done. And this for Aaron Davies to return the favour back to Kris Hampson with a break and out, and in it goes. And Aaron Davies restores his lead. Nicely done there from Aaron. And we're up to table 2. We see just starting out. Hitting Patel sat down in the corner. And he's playing Zach Cooper, who's at the table. Another one of our new professionals. Kris Hampson then back to the main arena, breaking off frame 4 in this race to 8. Not completed 10 minutes yet of the 50 minutes allotted time for this match, as Hamson makes a ball. And rightly taking the reds. That's absolutely perfect. It's just the red that's stuck to the yellow bottom right of the table. That's the only sort of stumbling block for Kris Hampson. You can see it probably does still go into the bottom left hand corner, and there is a ball very near. He could even get on it off the one in the middle, so he might not even have to move that. So you'd expect Kris to finish here. Anyway, while we just watch Kris develop that red, I'm no longer alone. My buddy's come back.
Well, you're very welcome. Very welcome, Tony.
I've been missing you.
Yeah, me too.
I could hear the people that were watching this thinking, I wish this bloke would shut up, droning on. But then you came back.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, I've actually been able to watch a little bit. I've had a little bit to do in and around the venue here in Bolton.
What, lunch?
No, I wish. chance would be a fine thing. But yeah, it's been quite nice actually. So sort of going from A to B, you can't really avoid what's happening because it's on that ginormous screen in the middle of the room. And yeah, popped in to see a couple of people and met a few of the players on the way, and everyone just seems quite pleased to be here, which is a nice place to be.
That's called gas bagging. You've been out chatting, haven't you? And
no,
enjoying
I was
yourself.
Distracted, yeah. That's the problem. But very tidy finish this from Kris. His nickname's the Cannon, and he played a lovely one to set that one up. And we are all square again. Desmond between Aaron Davies and Kris Hampson. And one thing I was able to do on my travels was to see the action on the other tables. It is continuing unabated on tables 2 and 3 on the Ultimate Pool app and on the Ultimate Pool YouTube as well. I can tell you Brian Halcrow is on the hill against Chris Day. That one's not streamed. Kyle Cobra's on the hill against Clayton Castaldi. That's on table 3 right now. On YouTube, Luke McAvoy is 5-3 up on Christophe Lambert. Josh Kane has already beaten Ricky Jones there, so Hinton Patel and Zach Cooper are going on table 2 on the Ultimate Pool app momentarily. 0-0. I think they've just started in that game. That's dry.
Nice attacking shot there from Kris Hampson.
Well, Kris Hampson is playing some good stuff here. He has got work to do, though. After all the hard work, Kris Hampson then ran aground. Aaron's got some work to do of his own mind. By no means a guaranteed easy out.
Yeah, Aaron will be happy with that. Just had to be careful with that bump into those two yellows, but they've come out nicely. Just a black ball, really. Needs moving. I don't think it goes past the red into the top corner or either corner. Tricky shot here for Davies. There you see, didn't want the cue ball that close to the rail, and he had to dig deep, try and cut that yellow in and free the black ball. And he's missed the pot. So Hamson might have dodged a bullet when he stumbled over first in this frame. Pretty straightforward now for Kris. Drops this red in. You can have a fairly simple black into the top corner. And this for Kris Hampson to lead for the first time in this match. Down goes the black, and Kris Hampson gets his nose just in front of Aaron Davies.
Yeah, get that cooker on. Kris Hampson is cooking. Look at them plasmas. Size of those screens.
Yeah, it's a super venue. I'll get over how, when you walk out of our commentary position, which is down to the sort of right is where you're looking, you come in and you see the enormity and the size of the arena. And when you look up on the balconies upstairs onto the next level and see people playing pool up there as well. And then you know there's another level where you go up where they're having mini tournaments and people, oh, it's just incredible.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Kris Hampson with the break. And he's absolutely slammed that as Kris. Be interesting to see how Kris gets on, because he was in a similar position this time in the last tournament in Wigan, where he was out there on the TV table very early. He was up against Declan Brennan on that occasion. So, you know, the draws aren't getting any easier for Kris, but I think he struggled a bit to get going in that match, and you could almost watching it, you just felt like the occasion maybe just got a bit big for him a bit quickly. It didn't settle, and with the table play as quick as it was, if you're not settled, it's so easy to get caught out, and it just snowballs, doesn't it? You know. But it's really nice to see him settle so quickly in this match, and really, you know, this is now what feels like an even game. Whereas in that match against Declan, for example, it didn't feel even, because it felt like Declan had such an advantage over Kris in terms of just how comfortable he felt out there. Kris at the minute looks as comfortable as you're going to see him, and you know, he's reaping the benefits at the moment. He's playing well.
Kris is a very good potter. For me, when he has a little stumble, it's when it just loses a cue ball now and again, and it then becomes obviously a problem to complete finishes if you fall out of position. And I don't know if it's just the speed of the table, or does he not get to the venue soon enough to have a bit of practice? No, that was fairly tight into that corner, but again he was just slightly out of position. Whereas when you watch Aaron Davies play, he's very careful, meticulous where he puts the cue ball. This is going to be loss of turn. He's going to try and get that cue ball over to the right-hand side of the table now to put Kris in a bit of trouble. And that's played very well. Kris Hampson looking to see if he can come past that yellow and make contact with the red up into the top. But it's a ridiculously thin cut. He's actually looking now, I think he might have to come off this top rail and back into it. So this is going to be played at some pace. Has he got any friends? Ooh, I don't think so.
No. It's a good effort. Knew he was trusting to luck a little bit there to get it done. Wasn't easy.
Yeah, it was one of those shots. It doesn't matter how good a player you are or where you are on the professional ranking list. Now and again, you have to deploy the hit and hope, and that was it.
Absolutely.
But this is now a great opportunity for Aaron to bring this match back square once again as we enter the last 30 minutes. So we do have plenty of time.
I can tell you, Clayton Castaldi and Kyle Cope, by the way, Over on table 3, have gone hill.
He's done well. I think Kyle was a couple of frames down at one point.
He has, yeah. Clayton's come back. Nice shot from Aaron. Gets rid of that slightly awkward yellow. He'd have loved to have been straight in top left. He really would have loved to have been straight in. Would have made a difference. Because he could play that yellow closest to the red now, get it out the way. Reroute required.
Indeed, just looking at those scores there. Tremendous win for Brian Halcrow against Chris Day.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll bring you the results so far in a moment.
So Aaron now just gets this cue ball off the bottom rail. Anywhere near the front spot of the rack will do. About there then.
Yeah, that'll do it.
See the yellow just creaks past the red. Not enough of the pocket. Simple black ball, and we're going to be level once again. And in it goes. And the Cyborg pulls up level alongside Kris Hampson as we have another fantastic look in our arena and the order of play, JMO.
Yeah, we've already seen Tom Cousins get the win over Vivek Mack. Stevie Dempsey and Daryl Whitworth follow this match between Aaron Davies and Kris Hampson. And we'll then see Declan Brennan against Rab McCullough. All Northern Irish affair there. Looking forward to that. Let's take a look at table 3. Kyle Cope at the table, Hill decider. And he's on yellows and he has a little bit of work to do. They're a little tricky. They're a little tricky.
Funny enough, I've watched Kyle take out a few one-frame deciders this season in matches when I've been walking around the arena, and he's very good at it. He holds himself together very well.
He does. He's going to have to. If you want to watch the conclusion of that frame, by the way, you can do so on table 3 on the Ultimate Pool app. That is live for you right now. You can see if Kyle can take down that finish. If you're sticking with us here, we'll let you know if he was successful.
Well, it's a nice split there for Aaron. Just a starting ball. I mean, he can make that red into the bottom left-hand corner, but it's getting on the next one. I wonder if he'll have to take the one in the middle, which is a trickier pot. But if he does knock this in, you feel this should be frame ball. Knock it in, he does.
He certainly does. And a very presentable chance this for Aaron to go back in front. Oh, Aaron. Ooh, got into that a bit. He got into that a bit. He's going to play a really good shot now as well. I think the only red he can see is the one at the top of the table, and he looks like he's going very close to those yellow balls. I think he can just about avoid them, but the cue ball is doing some real mileage here.
Yeah, if he gets a cue ball past those two yellows, he's fine, because he'll come onto that side rail and back out again. He's digging down a bit here.
Oh, he had to turn it.
He did.
That's a hell of a shot. It means the cue ball was really difficult because it just died off those two cushions then. But he had to turn it just to make that red. It's a really impressive recovery shot from Aaron Davies, but he's got to keep on digging. And he's looking at the plant. Is he looking at the plan?
I don't think there's anything else.
Must be a special way to get out if Aaron Davies can find a way out from here. This would be Houdini stuff, and it doesn't even look like it goes.
He's only got half a pocket, even if he does have that. Oh, he's gone with the red. Well,
yeah, that's a great shot.
that's a brilliant shot. Never even saw that one.
Yeah, very, very good. Love that choice from Aaron Davies.
Yeah, he sees all the shots so well.
And he's also not afraid to play a defensive shot either, which...
Well, looks like he can see it.
Well, yeah, so it wasn't as good as we thought.
Yeah,
We thought that yellow was covered.
I said it was a terrible shot in the first time round.
Yeah, poor Aaron. It was a great idea. It was almost
But it looked
amazing
glued.
execution.
It did look glued from our position. Yeah, and that nightmare all born from Aaron Davies playing an over-aggressive through shot.
I can tell you, by the way, that the castle is at the table to win the match against Kyle Cope. And I was sending you all to the wrong table, so I do apologise for that. He's on table 2, is Clayton Castaldi.
Yeah, your navigation skills aren't what they were.
No, it's okay. It happens.
The sat nav on J-Mo watch has malfunctioned. But anyway, Kris Hampson at the table to try and get back to one in front again. Just a tiny bit short. Was he thinking of rerouting and playing a long yellow? No, he's not. He's going to go in the centre. Should be fine, really. Should be able to hold. Well, it's cut into the middle now. A little bit thinner than he would have liked. But you feel that this is frame ball here. Digs this deep, gets a cubble over to the left-hand side rail, snips it in this middle. It's made it, and that's perfect.
Yeah, lovely shot. We'll pop this off the thick edge of the jaw. Oh, he pumps it in to go right centre.
Oh, no.
Oh, and he's missed the 8. Wow.
He's missed that by a long way and all. Wow.
Oh, it's one that got away for Kris. He'll be seething. It's a real let-off.
And rightly so, he'll be seething.
I can tell you, whilst Aaron mops these up, there's been some drama over on the old table too. Aaron pots the 8 ball. Let's go to it. Aaron Davies leads. This is Clayton Castaldi versus Kyle Cope. Clayton at the table, but he missed. So Kyle has played a safety. Clayton with a big miss. He should have had the game wrapped up. You can see he's got some thinking to do here. It's amazing the difference actually watching the players out there versus when they're in the main arena, because Clayton's taken about probably a minute on this shot alone. It really does slow down.
Yeah, you don't have the luxury in this main arena of being able to take your time if you like. As we have a shot clock and a match clock. Oh, and once again, Kris Hampson misses a ball in the middle. He's sort of unravelled a bit, Kris, out there in the last couple of frames.
Yeah, and it can happen. It can happen. Talked, didn't we, about his match with Declan Brennan, where it's so easy for things to snowball out there. We saw it with Vivek in the first match. You know, when things go badly for you, they just tend to just go badly for you for a little bit. It's quite hard to arrest that momentum.
Now, as he landed straight, judging by his mannerism, looking at that overhead, I don't think it's completely straight, but I think he's going to have to top this through while potting his yellow at some pace as well. He's going to have to belt this in. I don't think he's got enough to be able to punch the cue ball off the bottom rail and just come out, unless he just takes his medicine, pots this ball and leaves the long yellow into the bottom left-hand corner. He's digging down on the cue ball, so I think he's just going to stop the white dead. Screw back a bit and back off that side rail, not done an awful lot. The right shot to play probably for Aaron, because he's not doing anything extravagant with the cue ball. Just make sure he leaves himself a pot. I think a Sean Chipperfield or a Craig Waddigan might have had a go around the table, but, well, I didn't expect that either. But Aaron has blocked the finish, so he's been a bit fortunate with that miss. But it's all gone a bit scrappy. Aaron wanted to push that red ball right onto the side cushion. This is going to be very thin. And I don't think that Kris can cut that back. Was he having a go?
No, he wasn't. Just trying to leave a good cue ball, and I don't think he has. Wonder if he was targeting the red there by left centre and sort of leave Aaron kind of snookered on the ball he can pot.
What he has done is he's left the wrong angle if Aaron wants to play that ball in the middle, which I feel he has to. So he's going to have to take the cue ball up to the top of the table and back down again. So this is tough position.
Bottom left corner of the table, though, feels like it's a good place for him. He's one good shot away here. That's a pretty good shot. That's a pretty good shot from Aaron Davies.
Yeah, exceptional stuff. If
you want to, even go middle first.
Yeah, well, if you want to be greedy, you want to come up another ball roll onto that yellow with the bottom.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I say may go middle first. Yeah, he will, because he's going into the yellow in the 8 ball with the yellow he's closest to, just slightly off angle on it. So this one is just a little bit more natural, and this is okay. Yeah, she's checking that black ball goes past the red into the bottom right. If it does,
This is a straightforward pot the yellow, plain ball, cue ball straight off the bottom.
Yeah, very nice. He's going to want to hope that this 8-ball goes past the red. He's taking a good look at it. I think he must have looked at this before he played that shot.
He's looking at his spot that he wants to make contact with this to go past that red, because it's a little bit blind, but yeah, you got half a bag. Oof.
Oh, okay.
It scraped it.
Yeah, that one there just squeezed in. Little lucky there was Aaron Davies, but he'll take it. That's for sure. All right then. Clayton Castaldi didn't get over the line against Kyle Cope. That result is in. It is Kong with the win. So Tom Cousins already through into the last 32. He beat Vivek Mack earlier. We saw that here on the main table. Chris Day defeated by Brian Halcrow. Has had a few very good results of late, has the buzzer. Josh Kane got through against Ricky Jones 8-4. Liam White with a very good win over Rob Chambers 8-5. And, well, as we saw the last knockings of, Clayton Castaldi beaten by Kyle Cope in a final frame decider. The castle was stormed and then knocked down by Kong.
We're starting that game, aren't we? So there's plenty of hope for Cope going forward.
I should think so. It's a brilliant break from Aaron in the sense of the split, but the cue ball was lost, and yeah, he's in a bit of bother because Kris Hampson has a good chance here to get himself back on the rails.
This is the important shot now into this middle bag. Needs to get great position on the yellow next to the black. That's okay. He can pot this and he can screw the cue ball into the side rail and then come back. Wants to land sort of just above that red ball on the cushion. So screw this into the side rail and back over again.
Yeah, excellent shot.
Yeah, nicely played there by Kris Hampson. Can you get there? Oh, that. Well, I'm just waiting for it to fall, and so is Orich, our referee, as he looks at it.
Well, somehow that yellow is not keeled over the line.
I can't believe that's
the hole.
Can't believe it's not gone in.
I mean, that's crazy. I can't believe that's not dropped. He played a lovely shot.
I mean, he had to play it very softly to hold on to the black, but yeah, it just looked like it was about to fall, and then it just dangled there and stayed. But anyway, Aaron Davies won't mind that at all. Big frame as well. When you think about the frame, you know, the difference. For Kris to get within one or then be three behind.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, if you go 6-3, and it could have been, you know.
Oh, what's Aaron done?
He's catching this, isn't it? It's getting contagious out there.
there's been some loose shots out there in this match towards the second half of it.
And he's actually got to play a really difficult shot.
Yeah, there you see where Aaron Davies wants to put the cue ball. But it's easy pointing your cue there. You try and get the white there. This is tough.
It's helpful if he's touching ball, which he must be because he's playing away.
Oh,
He's got lucky.
he has.
If he wasn't touching ball there, he was in all sorts of trouble. Has he got the line? I think Kris will fancy this.
Yeah, you've got to play the swerve here. Swerve around the red.
Margin for error was tiny on that shot from Aaron, but Kris for the swerve for as good as 5-4. Brilliant shot. Very well executed from Kris Hampson.
This is not an easy black ball at all. Horrible being close to the rail, and you're cutting it away as well. These are very easy to push wide and into the far jaw. Well, he's put it near jaw.
It was a missable 8-ball, that's sure. It was a really missable 8-ball.
Yeah, it was.
But Kris will be devastated with it. He knows it had to go.
Well, this is just make sure of the pot for Aaron. Keep your head down, cue through the ball. Pot goes in, it's easy. Played that lovely. I mean, we know Aaron's got plenty of bottles, so, you know, for him to make these couple of errors, they're just a bit loose with the cue ball. When the pressure balls have needed to be potted, and Aaron's come up trumps as you hear the bell. So we now will drop into 15 seconds of shot territory.
15 second shot clock in place.
And what Aaron would have given to be just below this red, I think he might be able to screw straight back though. No, I think he's going to bottom rail.
No way.
Oh, that's gone. No, it hasn't.
Oh.
I think that turned a very small touch there, maybe into a fingerprint, but it did just at the end of that when he got just past the bolt line. Anyway, this black for 6-3, and he's made it, and he's still quite concerned about where the cue ball's going. I don't think Aaron's quite got the pace of the table today. Just a little bit out here and there with his position, and he's normally so great with his positional shots. Here we see his last red again. That cue ball, just when he gets to the bolt line, it takes a tiny little turn to the right. There you go.
Neil Raybone and Jimmy Croxton have got underway on table 3. I can tell you, Neil Raybone actually made a golden break on his on his first break of the tournament. That doesn't count, of course, in the Pro Series. Abel gets respotted. So Jimmy and Neil underway on table 3. Hitman, Hitan Patel and Zach Cooper are battling it out on table 2. That's currently 3 each.
Extension call. Yellow Bolton.
You see Aaron, little skip round the table there because fully aware of the time he has to play his shot. Yeah, this has been really nice from Aaron. Might just come into the red here and get past it rather. Rubs it, but that's fine. See him gallop over to get the rest. Awkward queuing. Played one shot early with the rest and he didn't miss that one, and he's not going to miss a second either.
Well, he's very handy, curious, Darren. He's played a lot of snooker and all the rest of it. He's not really sort of worried too much about the rest in the way that some players I know would literally never use it under any form of duress.
I was one of them.
Were you?
Oh, hated it.
You're quite a tall guy, so I imagine you didn't really have too much of a problem with that in that regard.
I will say it, and there's been times when I should have used it, and it's cost me frames when I've stretched across the table and played a silly shot when I should have used it. But anyway.
Jimmy Croxton, Neil Rayburn then underway. Neil broken ran the first frame, so Jimmy Croxton taking Neil on. This is on the table 3 stream for you right now on the Ultimate Pool app.
Jimmy the Joker playing the Razor, Neil Rayburn.
These two will know each other very, very well, both on the same neck of the woods. Both live in Newcastle under Lyme.
We see Aaron Davies potting the 8, and as it comes back up, so he did manage to pot a red as well, so black ball's back on its spot. Aaron Davies still at the table and with a clear opportunity to finish this match off. And that was the ball. As long as Aaron can just get this cue ball, guide it through the little small gap of yellows off the side rail. And that is absolutely bang on. The end is nigh for Kris Hampson, as the cyborg is now just 3 balls away from completing his task of advancing into the next round. Could he land a second pro title in the same season?
Write him off, would you?
No, he's been a bit loose with the cue ball in this match, but his potting's been very good. Kris has had his chances, but this is for the match.
Aaron Davies gets it done, not without a little bit of jeopardy in that match, but he'll just be so pleased to be over the line and into the next round. An excellent start for the cyborg.